everybody to another issue of Snippet News. A lot has happened in the month of August, and we'll try to go over it, make it clear. I want to start talking with one of the most important news that I think came out during this month, which is that the theater consent decree is no longer active in the United States. And this is something that came out a while ago, like I think in the 30s, 40s, when studios control theater chains and theaters themselves, and the decree would make it so that they couldn't do that because they were controlling who could show their movies, keeping studios out, making it difficult for indies and independent productions to actually show up on the movies, and so the United States came out with a theater consent decree, which no longer allowed this, and it has lapsed. As far as I know, it's no longer going to be working, which means that now chains can be bought by movie studios. Some may think that that may be cool because that means maybe Disney can buy some of them, but that also means that Disney, which has been consolidating movie studios and stuff right now, will be able to discriminate against independent movies and smaller studios or like Warner and stuff like that. I think it can get out of hand quickly, and it will be harder for us to watch smaller films, or like we'll have to decide where to go more deeply, which is gonna make it more difficult to watch more varieties of movies. We'll see how it goes, but that's it might happen again. So we'll see. In other news with the theaters, um, theaters are opening in the United States. AMC, small theaters here in Kansas like the B&B and Screenland have been opening. Screenland has been kind of smart. They've been doing outside showings, so they set up chairs outside and they put screens in their open areas so that they keep everybody apart. B&B, I believe, has been doing the we're cleaning the areas and everything. I'm still not sure about that. I'm definitely not gonna go to the movies because I mean the whole system I think doesn't work. Movie theaters make money out of concessions. So if they send you food and drinks, you're gonna take your mask when you're in the watching the movie, and so you're not gonna keep your mask on. I'm not gonna be safe. I don't think it's worth it, and it's gonna bother me because while some movies are being moved online, like Mulan, and movies like Bill and Ted are doing the dual release, which is they're coming on theaters and video on demand. There's also movies like Tenet, which it's made by Nolan, and he has this thing about making the movie for IMAX and IMAX screens and sound systems. And I think that movie should be watched that way. I'm not gonna be able to watch it. If I do, it will not be in the theaters, and so it's gonna be difficult. I personally think that the way I'm gonna be reviewing movies and stuff right now is if it's on video on demand or accessible through one of the services, I will watch it, make my video like I do and post it on Instagram. But otherwise, I don't think that I should be um, reviewing movies that are on theater and then having people um, feel like they need to watch in the theater um, and risking their lives. I don't think that's gonna be right. So we'll see how it goes. And finally, DC had its DC Fandome event. It was an online event to kind of like Comic Con, where they released a lot of news about their properties for video games and movies and cartoons and comics and everything. So I think I'm gonna try to go over them, keep it streamlined, um, but it's a lot of news because it was like 2 days of events happening, and a lot of that had to do with their movies. We can start with Wonder Woman 1984. Patty Jenkins released a new trailer for the movie. It looks amazing. Um, the movie, of course, has been moved to I believe October or next year, and so we'll see if we'll see it in the theaters. But from the trailer, it looks amazing. We can finally see Cheetah, how she looks, um, the characters, some of the jokes that are going to be playing. I think it's gonna be very cool, and it's also very special because we're nearing the 80th anniversary of Wonder Woman, which DC is planning a couple things, so it's gonna be very cool. And I can't help to wait to see what Patty Jenkins comes up with. She also mentioned that the movie is not really a sequel to the first Wonder Woman movie, so we'll see how much of that is true. I did think it was a little bit weird that there's like a 60 years difference or 70 years difference between the first movie and the second. So she might be a little bit right there, and might be maybe um, Ellsworth's story, which uh, DC is leaning on. Talking about that, the Flash movie is definitely gonna be the Flashpoint um, event where the multiverses collided, kind of thing. Michael Keaton is back as Batman, and so is Ben Affleck. So we'll see how that goes. They have released an image of the new suit. It's not gonna be the same armor kind of thing, which kind of makes sense given that in the Crisis of Infinite Earths events for the TV, um, both Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller's Flash met, and he was able to see Grant's Flash suit, which is more like I don't know. It looks like cotton, but it's not. It's not armor like his. By the way, that if you didn't watch it, just look for that scene in YouTube because it's pretty fun. That Ezra Miller's Flash. That's how he gets the name. Um, so I think it's gonna be cool. DC has finally decided instead of having a shared universe, they're gonna have a multiverse where things may or may not be, linked together. And I hope that leaning into that, they're able to make better stories that are first and foremost movies for themselves, and later may be connected. We'll see how it goes. On that same thing. Zack Snyder also showed a new trailer where we clearly see Darkseid. It looks pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. He's been scrapping everything that he didn't film himself, the music, everything. It's gonna be new. He definitely said it's gonna be 4 hours of a movie, and HBO will allow you to either watch it all in one sitting or watch it in parts. We'll see depending on how it is. Zack Snyder movies are a little bit crammed. They feel like there's a lot of stuff, so they feel very long. So we'll see how he manages to keep us stuck to the screen, and if we can make it, maybe watch it all together. Um, we also have Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman, with Robert Pattinson. Showed a new trailer which looks amazing, and some designs, drawings basically of not only the logo but also the bat suit and everything. It looks pretty good. The trailer looks amazing. I can't believe that's Colin Farrell. Like, he doesn't look like him. But I'm pretty excited about it. If you have complaints about Robert Pattinson, if you watch anything after Twilight, he's done an amazing job with all the things he's done. So I would recommend that you drop by one of a couple of the movies, especially the latest ones, because it's gonna be surprising for you. He's a terrific actor, and I think he's gonna do a great job with it. We also have that they brought Zachary Levi to show us the title of the new Shazam movie, and so he made this whole thing about not being able to talk. He brought the stars and everything, and then, like, in the cutest way possible, one of the actors, the child actors, was like drawing the poster and stuff, and then showed off this amazing poster with the title of the second movie, which is Shazam: Fury of the Goats. And I think it's gonna be really cool. By the way, Sinbad is in this movie apparently, so it's gonna be super cool to actually see that. It's probably gonna be a cameo. It's gonna be fun. Um, it looks like everybody is still having fun with that property, and that's what I want from DC. It's a fun superhero movie that it's serious at some points, because if you see Shazam, there's some grisly things happening in that movie. They just don't always show you, you know. The stakes seem real, so we'll see. Um, in the same universe, Black Adam, the Black Adam movie with The Rock, is still slated to film and everything. They have added part of the Justice Society into the movie, so now we're gonna see Hawkman and Doctor Fate, Cyclone and Atom Smasher into it. I think it's gonna be pretty cool to see how Hawkman and Doctor Fate come into it. Those two are the most that I know on the series for the Justice Society, and they're very related to that area of magic and that area of the world. So it's gonna be cool. So far, they've only released like a small teaser. It's mostly art, concept art from the movie with voiceover from The Rock, and it's pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. Um, James Gunn also gave us a roster for the Suicide Squad and showed us a behind the scene. He did a terrific job with that. The movie seems fun. He said that they're using so much more CGI than any other movie that has been filmed so far, and I believe him. I mean, we have King Shark that can't be easy to put in a movie. Um, Everybody looks to be having fun. It's like 18 people. This is gonna be bunkers, and was if the movie was from everybody but James Gunn, I think that it would be a hard pass to try to make it good. We already saw what David Ayer did, even though you know that was taken over by the marketing department and they redid half the movie. So take it with a grain of salt. But even then, it was a hard movie to make, I guess, to make us believe that these characters were easy to follow. Um, but this new movie, like, it's different, and James Gunn had proved that he can balance multiple characters in the same movie at the same time. So we'll see how good he does with the 18 people. Um, have two more news. One is James Wan, director of Aquaman and Aquaman 2, came on and talked about how Aquaman 2 is going to be a more serious movie that's going to use more of his horror film techniques. For this one, I guess that there are the rumors that they were going to focus on the lost sea creatures is going to be true. We'll see how it goes. I hope that they streamline it a little bit. If you watch Aquaman, I really like that movie. I really want to see what they do with the Lost Ones, because those little bit of snippets that they show us in Aquaman 1 seem pretty interesting. And I think even if it gets us a little bit of horror kind of vibe, it would be cool to see that in a superhero movie. I'm not sure. I know that the Fox tried to do that with New Mutants, and it just was released on the theaters. So I haven't been able to see it. I don't know if it works, but if it does work, I think James Wan is one of those people that will be able to mix that up with the superheroes. And finally, the best news from fandom, and there's a lot of stuff that I said that is really cool, but this one is for 90s kids. Is Static Shock is getting his own movie, and I think that's one of the most amazing things ever, because it was one of the best cartoons that came out of that Disney DC animation era. I really want to see what they do with it. The cartoon was pretty awesome, and um, it's also with representation. It's a black teenager who gets superpowers, and I think they could do amazing things with that. You know. Other than that, those are the news for the month of August. It was loaded mostly because of DC wanted to showcase that. Um, some of the things I said important. The theater decree no longer being on. It's gonna change the way the studios behave, and we'll see how that affects us as viewers. As always, stay safe. I would say enjoy the movies in the theaters, but just stay at home, um, rent them, buy them, um, watch stuff, and enjoy it. And let me know if you do too. You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram and LORDRLAP, or send me an email to snippetsreviews@gmail.com if you have any questions. Enjoy the movies.